explain the premise for the cosmic war and the warfare in the stomach, I kind of went really bland over that. The Milky Way causes putrefaction on the organic material in the physical, um, you know, on the Earth, right? Um, where it can happen, obviously, we have oxygen, triple state of water, atmosphere, you know. Uh, but basically, the reason why things it's like entropy, you know, putrefaction, basically. It's That's where there was a cult that believes that there's like alcohol out in the galaxy, like schnapps and fucking shit like that. But basically, uh, it's a polarity. Before you were born, before you have the concept of like reincarnation in your mind, or even just basic like getting terminology, like you don't have a concept of anything related to death, like terminal or reincarnating. You don't have any of that. It's just rejuvenating organic material as an energy from the cosmos, right? That was brought back by the ancestors and to to help out with the terrenials and terranians or whatever, the terrestrials, right? Um, there's some will being subverted. There's some to consumerist, material gain, basically material gain. There's nothing wrong with material gain. It's just that when it takes precedence, then it's not backing the proper use for any resources taken from Earth. Is the Abosam, right? Mother and child, right? Reunion, right? So they want to get us to do it for the reasons that they're into it for, since they have a lien against them, like alien, have a lien against them in a star chamber. That is, something that they know about the Elohim before before the elect knows what's coming, and so like you're being hunted before you know you're an Elohim. Um, Even there's a sense or connotation where the Elohim is an overlord, oppressive demiurge too, right? But basically, it's just another frequency word that sounds like breathing. All of the frequency words they sound like a breath, you know, like a breath. And there's only seven. It's like a building block, like a protein build starts the basis of an organic organism, or even if it's not like a living organism, like it's once was carbon based and yada yada. If I can now, I have to rein this video back in. So I was trying to explain on the cosmic warfare. Okay, so those people that do this role play mockery of the cosmic origin, the member, the Congress, sexual Congress with your member, but represented by an actor, right? Who's trying, they have angles on, like, maybe they don't want to be president, but getting into the Oval Office as an assistory capacity, they don't want to be the guy in the Oval Office, you know, because all the presidents messed around in the Oval Office, like they were just messing around, right? I, I'm not. It's hypothetical. I don't necessarily say that. That's very general, right? But that's what they like to do: generalization, rationalization, generalization. Get you with some predications or some details, like it's a facts. You know what I mean? Like knowledge is a facts or something. Knowledge is know the ledge. Facts help you to know the ledge. But maybe they have a problem is just with what little that you have. Like you wouldn't believe that there is like an entity out there, or like a you could call it an archon or a principality that uh, can't lead on to the fact that that like it's not really about like the 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 people who we think run the world, but that these creatures are so despotic and impoverished that they have a problem with what people who peasants little have, like with what little peasants have. If you get that, sorry about the, that's really bad. Shouldn't play with my face in the video. I'm not trying to send a message that I don't care or nothing like that, but I make these videos on the fly. I'm talking into it like I'm talking into my phone. As a lets me know what maybe I'm thinking in previous times, even if not, if I don't get it back to the exact date. And those politicians are like a junkyard for genetic material that aliens need to procreate because they no longer have the ability to procreate without human genetic material. They have to take on an aspect of human in order for us to interact or see them. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's kind of like That's kind of like what happens in the contract where they sought us out, first, and entered a occupied in a not occupied a quarantine zone in the galaxy, right? Quarantine. You're not allowed to be here. The only thing that's supposed to be going on here is um, it's like a party on a god realm, but it's in a so you see. Yeah, I mean that's just it. And if you like think about it, people have have a serious problem if you try to if you try to ponder the purpose of their existence, and rightly so, rightly so. It's like taking someone else's inventory. As soon at that point that you think that it's benign or not intrusive to ponder another person's purpose of their existence, then you could just be deflecting some shit. Then like we already know people who, when they have work to do on themselves because other people are learning and advancing themselves and they don't want to do it and they're lazy, they'll just recommend it in a gaslighting way and say you're just dabbling, you're not really going hard, and I recommend it and I'll support you instead of doing it myself. Jenny's tactics, we think that they're like the tactics of bad people, but they're not the tactics of bad people. They're the tactics of aliens. They're not human. Like human is on the natural is basically only going to be brought back to that which they like. I understand you can't get a good thing from a bad thing, but if you understand that you cannot mend or repair a mind back to the point where before any trauma has hit, and then you get it right. Then you get it. It just puts you on some other shit. Is it really don't need to hold on to the life. That's a stupid mistake. Like just try to hold on to, like try to pertain to, like do things that pertain to the interest of what the life needs. Do it like that. Like it's kind of like that, you know. Yeah. And to be fair, the first time I hear these kind of ideas, they don't settle in just like not like it seems like something doesn't fit, and you have to accept it. It's bullshit. Like who am I to say that like that this doesn't fit and that it's nothing more than ideology or it's a philosophy. Like it's like I don't make up philosophy. Well, yeah, I do make up philosophy. That's the delineation to let you know whether or not I made it up. I don't, like you could see when people are catatonic and it can relate that they're either guilty or that they have been subjected to something unthinkable that they should even shudder and to think about. But I don't know if they can act it very long, like temporarily. You know, like to be lethargic only as a deceptive art, it only really works if you're just like too much lethargic, and like it's like, oh, you're trolling or something. A little bit, and it's like, are you serious? Like, and then people have to start shuffling around because like, what if you feel like you've been intruded on, and you have, like, you think something happened, you believe something happened, and so that, like, they're, I'll approach you with this sense that even that it's maybe a mistake in my eyes, that you've been transfixed. You're transfixed by a mask, right? So it's like that's how they come up with the whole making amends in person, or knowing when not to. You know what I'm saying? It's like an injured wild animal. You know what I mean? Like, I've been mistaken identified before, and it's so crazy, man. It's like I had to agree not to. I mean, I thought about it. I was like, it doesn't make it makes sense. Like, I was kicked out of a restaurant I'd never been in, and told never to go back to a restaurant I'd never been in, and they seemed they couldn't understand it, even though they had to leave me alone, right? I was like, oh well, you're obviously not the person. Right? We checked your ID and everything. Don't go back in there though. Okay, you're kicked out of there. No, no, I'm not kicked out of there. I'm not going back. I'm not going over there. You know what I mean? I'm not. I'm deciding not to go over there because it's not smart. But I'm not kicked out of there. You misunderstood. You know. But you gotta tell that to them. You know. It's like, when am I kicked out? Even though you know that I'm mistaken identified, you still think in your mind that I'm kicked out. Well, you have to kick me out, but you can't kick me out if I never go there. So, what? But I agree. It's so, like, it's some baloney, but it's not baloney though, because like, if I guess if you look enough like somebody and they see you, then you bring that feeling out of them, and they're not going to be themselves. So at work, it's best to leave somebody alone if for no reason other than they can't be themselves. Then she'll actually thank me one day for letting her be herself, and looking like the motherfucker that attacked her. Like, what is his, they called his name was, uh, he he was one of those people that gave himself a name. That's what pisses me off so much, because he gave himself a name like General or something, the General or something. Like, I'm the General of the game. Something like, I got stabbed for this game. I'm a lieutenant. I'm a general. Something. I guess you could do. Actually, if you had been, you could do that. Like, I shouldn't even make light like that. Because why? I mean, again, why are you? You know what I'm saying? Like, if somebody making a movie with lions and gets mauled and comes back and finishes the movie with their scalp, like, stapled back on, then I guess you could say you're a damn general. But I don't. Some people are like, call me a Dark Lord Vortex, something like this. There's a dude like that. Like, other people